2029, a gloomy future, is the war of mankind and civilization of machines. The action is transferred to the present 1984. At night, somewhere in Los Angeles, the driver of the garbage truck sees inexplicable lightning jumps weaved. They form a sphere from which a naked man appears, a Terminator. The Terminator meets three Panka and demands to give him clothes. Panks raise him to laughter, replacing aggression. One of them sticks a knife into the Terminator, but he kills a bully. Another naked man appears from another flash, Kyle Reese, and attracts the attention of a police patrol. Running away from the patrolman, Riz takes his pants from the homeless, the cloak and sneakers from the store streams, takes a shotgun from a police car, after which he goes to look for a telephone booth. From the telephone reference book in the booth, he learns the address of Sarah Connor. The Terminator comes to the weapons store, gains weapons, and without paying, kills the seller. He also finds a telephone and a reference book, and remembers the addresses of all women named Sarah Connor. He goes to the first woman from a list named Sarah Connor and shoots her. Meanwhile, Sarah Connor, a 19-year-old college student, renting an apartment with a girlfriend named Ginger, goes to a cafe where he is working as a waitress. She learns about the murder of Sarah Connor and Detective Vukovic from the Los Angeles police comes to his boss, Lieutenant L. Truxler, and shows him reports on the murder of two women named Sarah Connor. Sarah goes to the cinema, allowing Ginger to retire at home with a lover. In the bar, she learns about the death of another Sarah Connor. She notices Kyle Reese following her and enters the first busy nightclub that came across. Sarah calls Ginger to warn her, but she does not hear a call because of music in headphones. Sarah calls for Lieutenant Truxler. He advises her to stay in a public place and sends a car behind her. The Terminator is sent to Sarah and kills Ginger and her lover. Hearing on the answering machine the message sent by Sarah that she was hiding in the club, the Terminator searches the house and finds a photo of Sarah Connor. Having received the necessary information, the Terminator goes to the club. Cyborg finds Sarah and leads a gun on her, but Sile, who arrived in time, discharges a gun into it and convinces the frightened Sarah to follow him. Sarah sees the Terminator stained with shots slowly rises. She runs away with Kyle. Having stole the car, Kyle and Sarah run away from the Terminator and hide in the garage. Reese says that the Terminator is a cyborg covered with living flesh, which received an order to destroy Sarah. They both profit from the future, which can come in 40 years. In the future, a nuclear war will come, everything that surrounds Sarah will be swept away. The latest defense computer, becoming independent, decided to destroy people. The robots drove few surviving people into the camps. However, a man named John Connor, the future son of Sarah Connor, appeared. He rallied people and taught them to fight. The purpose of the Terminator is to destroy Sarah so that she does not give birth to John. Kyle does not have time to finish his story. The Terminator finds them. Kyle manages to break away from the cyborg, but the patrolmen who arrived surround and arrest him. During interrogation, Kyle tells the police that he is a fighter of the resistance of mankind from 2029. Resistance defeated the civilization of robots and found a time machine with which the robots managed to send the Terminator. Police psychiatrist Der Silberman takes him for a madman, although he notices the lack of contradictions in the narrative of Kyle, which is atypical for the mentally ill. The Terminator comes to the police station and seems to be a friend of Sarah Connor, but they answer him that she is during interrogation. The Terminator says, "I will return." After a few seconds, he drives directly into the station by car and searches him, killing the police. Trickler and Vukovic die. Kyle, taking advantage of the turmoil, disarm his guard, is released and escapes from the destroyed area with Sarah. Sarah calls her mother's home, not knowing that the Terminator was talking to her. He immediately goes to the motel, where the heroes stopped. Kyle admits to Sarah that he volunteered to go into the past because he was in love with her since he saw her photograph transmitted to him by John Connor. Sarah, immensely touched by Kyle with courage, reciprocates his feelings and spends the night with him, reinforcing the child. So the loop of time is closed. Without Kyle, John Connor would never be born. Hearing the barking of dogs, Kyle and Sarah are fleeing. Kyle throws homemade bombs into the cyborg pursuing them, but the Terminator wounds him with a queue. Sarah knocks down the Terminator motorcycle. He falls under the wheels of the Benzoza truck, the Kyle and Sarah car also overturning. The Terminator captures the gas outlet and rides after them, but Kyle manages to blow up the gas outlet with a bomb. The Terminator comes out of the blazing machine, the human flesh burned out, exposing the endoskeleton. Heroes are hiding at the factory of Cyberdyne Systems. The Terminator is catching the heroes. The wounded Kyle rushes at the cyborg with a pipe, trying to win the time to flee Sarah. The Terminator knocks the pipe out of his hands and is preparing to kill the enemy, but he puts the bomb in his leg. The explosion tears his legs to the robot, but he hurries behind a Sarah crawling from him, heavily wounded into the thigh with a fragment. She manages to lure the robot under the hydraulic press and turn it on when the Terminator almost gets it. Doctors bring Sarah into an ambulance carriage. She cries, seeing how the corpse of Arisa is packing in a bag. After some time, a pregnant Sarah stops at a dressing in a certain Latin American country. She writes a story about Kyle for the not-yet-born John on the recorder. A local boy photographs her. This is the very picture that John Connor will convey to Kyle. The boy warns her about the approach of the storm, to which Sarah answers, "I know," referring to the coming war.